on the northbound 110, you've got protesters blocking all 3 lanes of the northbound 110 and traffic piled up. There have been some fireworks going off, and fireworks is being set off in the middle of the cars that are stopped on the... There are a couple of people, whoa, managed to, as you can see them throwing firecrackers right into the middle of the highway. I'm gonna back up a bit. Whoa, I almost got hit with a firecracker thrown at me, which went right into the roadway. Jeez Louise. We are at 5th and I think it's Figueroa, but I'm not positive. And making our way, holy fireworks, and are making our way onto the 110, the Harbor Freeway. As you can see, the on-ramp signs, and we're on the on-ramp now as the protesters are marching directly for the 110. So they erected a little bit of a barricade back at 5th and Flower, left it behind, and the whole protest crowd is now marching onto the freeway. Well, someone screams, "Onto the freeway, don't be afraid," and others pound the freeway entrance sign. So here you go, we're heading northbound on the 110. Not at a very quick speed though. Onto the 110 the protest goes. Likewise, so does the traffic at a very slow speed. Let's see what kind of confrontation lies ahead. Will there be California Highway Patrol officers awaiting? We shall see. Some bottle just smashed. I don't know if it was thrown down on the freeway below. I think we're right by the 110-101 interchange. Someone should head the Krispy Kreme. Interesting comment. Nice look at the LA skyline at dusk. And onto the freeway we go. Now we are on the freeway. And the protest has quieted down as the protesters storm the freeway, which I believe has been happening in multiple cities across the country today. What's going on with the traffic? Oh, protesters have already marched onto the freeway and disrupted traffic. This is the 110 northbound, and you can see the traffic piled up, and protesters starting to walk in the middle of traffic and block off most of the 110 northbound lanes. And someone's got the ramp closed sign. A lot of people are holding protest signs. Some people are holding roadwork signs, ramp closed signs, and more fireworks going off. You just missed it. Sorry. I saw it. You didn't. And the protesters have made their way onto the highway, onto Highway 110, the freeway as it's called here. And someone seems to be directing traffic here. So it looks like the protesters have started directing traffic. They've left open they've left open the fast lane, although it's not moving very fast. The lane closest to the center divider, the protesters have now opened up, and we have a man directing traffic here. Meanwhile, the vehicles that have been trailing the protesters are now likewise entering the 110. So we've got traffic that have been following the protesters, stuck behind the protesters for quite some time. Now onto the 110. Meanwhile, the other traffic is being let through by the protesters in the lane closest to the center divider, while all other lanes on the freeway, the northbound 110, are occupied by the protesters. And lots of honking horns. It appears like some of these vehicles, speeding by, appears like some of these drivers are supportive of the protesters, even as they block traffic. One is climbing onto the center divider. Let's see if he hops over. No, he doesn't. Right now, only the northbound section of the 101 here is blocked. So you've got protesters occupying 2 of the 3 lanes. Meanwhile, you have other protesters sitting and walking on the on-ramp, which is basically a bridge that lets down onto the freeway. And meanwhile, you have traffic very slowly making its way into the lane close to the center divider. Oh wait, hold up. Looks like there's disagreement among the protesters. Some are blocking traffic, while others are letting it through. So this woman's screaming 1 lane with a hashtag I can't breathe. Meanwhile, there are protesters on the center divider, which is actually like a 8 or 10 foot wall here. Wow. So we've got a dog in the back of this car. She's saying her dog is scared. Ma'am, do you support the protest? Oh look, there's a dog. So you guys heard it. This woman driving this Mercedes wagon says she abso-fucking-lutely supports the protest, although her dog is scared. And protesters are on top of what is really a dividing wall here on the 110. With, at this point, I believe protesters only on the 110 north, not on the 110 south. This car seems to be supportive.
We want more people to get him!
Sir, do you support the protest? Do you support the protest? There you go, he supports the protest. And the ramp closed sign has migrated onto the highway while protesters direct traffic and scream 1 lane. Here's another one directing traffic. And this one with the flag heading up the center divider. I heard some bang coming from this direction. I don't know what. Something bumped in. Here's a motorcycle. Sir, do you support the protest?
I do. I think it's not enough for the right to be angry. Like, people keep dying all and over again, and this is what needs to be done there to get the message across.
You don't mind that you're stuck in traffic?
I don't have a motorcycle.
Well, I think you could weave your way through that lane by the center divider.
You got a phone number, dude? I'm gonna go to my homies and join the movement. You got or like a Instagram?
I'm live streaming right now, so I can't text. But my Instagram is Nomad Journalist.
No what?
Nomad Journalist.
Oh,
Nomad like a digital nomad.
Oh, nomad.
And journalist like a reporter.
Okay.
Nomad Journalist, that's my Instagram.
I'll catch up with you later.
All right, sure thing. Thank you for the interview. For those of you who couldn't hear, I don't know if you could or could not hear, he said that he is supportive of the protest. Enough is enough. And he's on a motorcycle with, I think, a surfboard. So he said he could make his way through. Yeah, I can see Josh on the news chopper. Can you? I don't think I'm that visible. I'm wearing some dark clothing, which probably isn't such a smart thing to be doing given where we're at right now. George Floyd chants as You've got protesters on the bridge above the 110. You've got protesters on the center divider. Protesters occupying 2 of the 3 lanes. Although traffic is grinding to a halt. So let's take a look at, I think I smell some marijuana smoke. Traffic is grinding to a halt. So let's see if the protesters are allowing vehicles to pass. Oh, there's also been a little barricade erected.
No violence!
As people scream no violence at this guy. Little disagreement among protesters here in the middle of the 110, the second lane on the northbound 110. With a barricade blocking 2 of the 3 lanes. Oh, excuse me, there's a barricade blocking all 3 lanes of the highway. I stand corrected. Not 2, but 3. All 3 lanes of the highway now blocked. The comedy curator supports nomadic journalism. Appreciate the coverage. I appreciate you watching and the comments. Now the lane's been opened up and someone waves at the protesters while driving by. So the 110 is wide open northbound for this stretch exiting downtown, and in downtown at a standstill because you're watching protesters direct traffic only through the 1 lane by the center divider. As someone on a bicycle falls, that looked accidental. All right, let's flip the camera around for a moment. Whoa, what happened? Maybe that didn't work. All right, forget that. All right. Lots of protesters lined up on the freeway on-ramp. A couple standing on top of the center divider. And most of the crowd blocking the 2 right lanes of the highway. The northbound highway, that is. Dispute between protesters. It appears that one man is arguing stop the traffic indefinitely, and others are opposed and are saying leave the 1 lane open. Here's another frontal shot of the barricade. So you've got some signs popping up now, a hashtag George Floyd sign. We've got an argument breaking out among protesters again. Oh, she just screamed out, I'm on probation too. She said, let's do this as legally as we can. I want to compromise. I'm on probation too. As there's a man with a flag, some sort of roadwork construction looking flag, waving it at southbound cars driving on the other side of the highway. Freeway's backed up for miles, a commenter is saying. Well, it doesn't look like the southbound traffic is backed up for miles. Seems to be moving pretty normally. Actually, well, pretty normally for coronavirus times. Some honking. I'll give you a look at the pileup of cars as there's more screaming. Josh, you're on the news chopper again. Am I? Maybe. I don't know. A couple more people sitting on the center divider screaming, no justice, no peace. You're welcome for the coverage. Here's a look at the pileup of traffic. Not many cars honking their horns right now. Step on the gas, pedal to the metal. That would get ugly. Very ugly. There are indeed choppers in the air around us. There's one right here, another right there. They might be news choppers, I don't know. You're welcome for the coverage. Now that the lady in the white shirt who is screaming that she's on probation and wants to compromise, she seems to be directing traffic, as is this lady in the red sweater, directing traffic to pass through. Got a nice pair of boots in addition to the red sweater. More people climbing up on the center divider. And choppers getting louder in the sky above us. There's another one. A couple choppers right over there. For those of you just tuning in now, what you missed is protesters, after having a long confrontation with police over at 5th and Olive Street in downtown LA, ended up charging at some police and fire vehicles. A couple protesters, maybe more than a couple, were hitting the vehicles with some of the road signs that they had picked up and throwing some objects at the vehicles as well.
Don't be fucking lying.
So you can explain whatever you'd like to. What would you like to explain on camera?
The fact that you guys fucking lied to get fucking readings. That's the shit.
Which guys?
Y'all only fucking report what the fuck y'all want.
Which guys?
All y'all fucking press people.
Okay, well watch the live stream once it's posted. Okay, so there were a couple of people who were, as a firecracker gets thrown, there were a couple of people, whoa, there were a couple people who were hitting police and fire vehicles with some road signs. At that point, the police and fire vehicles that were lined up, whoa, I almost got hit with a firecracker thrown at me, which went right into the roadway. Jeez Louise. Okay, so the protesters at that point managed to, as you can see them throwing firecrackers right into the middle of the highway. I'm gonna back up a bit. One of those firecrackers was thrown a little too close to me. So a couple protesters were hitting the backs or sides of police and fire vehicles. The protesters then started moving, basically charging but walking at the police and fire vehicles. The police and fire vehicles drove away, which cleared the path for them to walk toward the 110 freeway. They entered the 110
freeway broadcasting.
They entered.
Motherfucker, interview me.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
What brings you out here tonight?
Motherfucker, what brings us out here is always fucking police brutality against minorities, and these motherfuckers don't punish for it, and they can just walk around with a fucking badge and expect everything to go fine their fucking way. And look at us. Look at all this. Look at it. Show it. Show it.
I'm filming.
Look
Just
at all
don't
this
grab
shit.
my arm.
We the people are the numbers. When we all fucking get together, look what we can do. Look at this shit. We're controlling the fucking freeway. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, so what kind of solutions would you like to see to the police brutality?
Solutions.
Calm down. Just tell them how you feel.
Alright, we want solutions, dog. We want them to treat us like people. When they pull us over, we want to feel like, okay, I can trust this fool. Not like, oh my god, I'm a threat and he's gonna shoot me, so I gotta do this and that, and I have to fucking suck a cop stick to get out of the way. Are you fucking kidding me? We want just our rights not be violated every single day. We just want to be fucking equal like they are supposed to be. That's it. That's it. That's all we want. We want to be respected in public. We want to feel safe when they're out in our presence. When they're in our presence, I don't feel safe. I feel like I have to walk the other way. and that's ridiculous.
And what kind of action do you think it's going to take in order for you to achieve your goals?
What do you mean? We're gonna fucking, if they don't keep listening, we're gonna keep fucking shit up until they fucking listen. Until they do something. This is ridiculous. Look at what we gotta do just for them to get to know. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Prosecute the choker.
Yeah, there's someone tagging prosecute the chokers here. Anything else you'd like to say? Anything else you'd like to say to the live YouTube audience?
Police, that's it. Fuck the pigs. Fuck all that shit.
Thank you. I was interviewing drivers a couple, like 5-10 minutes ago for the commenters saying. I interviewed multiple drivers. Here's a Mexican flag out on the 110 freeway in downtown LA. A couple drivers were saying that more than a couple were saying they support the protesters. One of whom I interviewed briefly was driving a Mercedes station wagon, I believe. She had her dog in the back seat. She said her dog was getting very scared, but that she's super supportive of the protesters. And she said fucking something supportive of the protesters. Someone's saying 7th and Hope massive police lineup. Well, there might be a police line mounting, preparing to come out onto the freeway. But traffic, oh, here we go. There's some men in vests. Let's see what's going on. Men in yellow vests. So a couple men in yellow vests filming, maybe press, I don't know. Oh, and we've got people sitting down blocking traffic.
Against your own fucking people, man. Not fucking smart.
So here's the whole line of vehicles stopped on the 110. And they can't drive anywhere because at the moment right now there are two people here. No, don't grab at me. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. I'm live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, it's called Josh Friedman.
Alright, let me see what your channel's about.
What is it? Go
I
for
want to see
it.
what your channel's about.
Go for it.
I want to see how you show us how you portray us. I want to see how you portray us.
Please do. Alright, so we've got the GMC truck now making its way through. Someone's saying lost soon, I don't know why. But that couple that was sitting down just got up and they're now, the vehicles are now passing. 2 lanes remain blocked. 1 lane remains open. And there's, I think, a Ford Mustang just sitting here on the freeway. There's fireworks going off everywhere. Fireworks going off in open lanes. Meanwhile, there's traffic entering the freeway nearby. Or at least there was. This is the 110 on-ramp. Things are really heating up a bit here. Some of the protesters have been intensifying the activity with those, not directly at vehicles, but not too far away from them either. Oh, we've got a man now with the man with the orange flag is now on the southbound 110, blocking at least 1 lane of traffic. I don't know how well you can see him, but that orange flag that's popping up above the center divider, that is a man. There's fireworks going on in the middle of the 110. So now there are at least 2 protesters on the southbound 110. Now it looks like there are 3 who have gone above the center divider and are on the southbound 110. You can see one holding a flag, waving the flag at traffic, and now traffic is basically at a standstill on the southbound 110. We are currently on the northbound 110. You see all these protesters? This is the northbound 110. The southbound 110 was moving very quickly. Now it's moving slowly as a man with a flag blocks at least 1 lane of traffic. Here's a Mexican flag. 2 people are holding right up against the center divider. Still there remains a barricade blocking the two right lanes, or there are only 3 lanes, so the middle lane and the right lane, blocking the northbound traffic, and the protesters are waving traffic through on the north on 110 and the lane closest to the center divider. This lane remains open. And more support from vehicles driving by. So there's a gauge that you can see this big truck carrying cars. It's not moving very quickly. But maybe the traffic will speed up again on the southbound. But you can see there's a man on the southbound 110 blocking at least one lane of traffic and waving a flag. I'll step aside for a moment. I did manage to see that question that was just posed. I did, minutes ago, ask one protester what he wants to accomplish. I hope you were tuned in at that point. Although the situation's heating up here. I don't know how many more interviews I'm going to be conducting because, as I've been saying, and as you've been seeing, firecrackers being thrown. One person was grabbing at my arm, so we'll see how many interviews we continue on with. But we've already interviewed several. I'm sorry. We've already interviewed multiple drivers who are all supportive of the protest. There was one man on a motorcycle supportive of the protest. Multiple drivers in cars supportive of the protest. And the George Floyd chant begins with Robbie's Rooter driving by. The plumber drives by. As now some motorcycles have figured out they can drive on the shoulder. Sir, do you support the protest? So some motorcycles have figured out they can drive on the right shoulder. Oh, and now the protesters move to block the shoulder. The barricade is getting extended slightly, although not yet covering the entire shoulder of the freeway. Now it might be. Just about covered. There's a little dirt stretch right against the railing on the shoulder that remains open. Other than that, the north lanes are blocked except for the lane closest to the center divider. This car right here is the one revving its engine. More support coming from vehicles. Both of those vehicles seem to be supporting the protest. Here's a Jeep. I think that's the vehicle that was just honking is driving by. Driving by the Mexican flag as well. And protesters on the center divider, and at least 2 blocking part of the northbound 110. Fireworks going off. And now sirens, which, you know what? if I'm hearing sirens, I'm gonna try to at least scout out and escape. I'm sorry? Oh, good call, good call. But nonetheless, the sirens are an excuse for me to scout out a way out of here, which I might need shortly. I'll give you a little bit of an aerial shot from the bridge that is the on-ramp. So you can see there's still traffic entering the 110 into wide open highway. And then over here, you've got the protesters blocking the middle lane and the right lane and allowing traffic to pass through the left lane of the northbound 110. Although traffic is now stopped, as it appears some protesters are blocking traffic. Meanwhile, now we have a shot at what's going on the southbound 110. So on the southbound 110, the man with the flag indeed has part of the freeway blocked. So I don't know if you guys can make it out. I can. He's holding and waving a flag, directing traffic, directing all the cars to go into the right lane as more fireworks goes off here in downtown LA. So the man with the flag who hopped over the center divider is now on the northbound side of the freeway. He's got a road sign blocking one or two of the lanes, and he's directing traffic as fireworks goes off right amid the downtown skyline. He's the man on the northbound, the man on the southbound side. Oh, okay, so I don't know if you guys could see it, but oh wow, there's the action. So let me give you the play-by-play of what just happened on the southbound side of the freeway. Southbound side of the freeway, the man with the flag has a road sign set up in the middle of the highway. A vehicle that looked like a gray sedan just drove right into the road sign, knocked it over, and someone who was among the protesters on the northbound side of the highway just hit the car, bumped into the car as it drove away. The one protester with the flag continues to direct traffic on the northbound side of the highway. On the southbound side, we're at a standstill. All of the traffic is blocked now on that's a long day. I'm mixing up northbound and southbound. So all of the northbound traffic is blocked right now. And fireworks is being set off in the middle of the cars that are stopped on the northbound freeway. This guy just got out. I've seen that so many times today already. So, sir, do you support the protest? The YouTube audience has been asking me to do some interviews. Could you tell us why you support the protest?
Don't record my face, please.
Okay, all right, I'll point it down. Why do you support the protest?
Simple. Fuck the police. Institutionalized organization doesn't need to exist, so fuck the police.
All right, thank you very much.
You got it.
All right, so here's
Simple.
I imagine you guys heard that. I was pointing the camera down, but I imagine you guys heard that. So here's the aerial shot of what's going on the northbound 110. You've got protesters blocking all three lanes of the northbound 110 and traffic piled up. There have been some fireworks going off, and now we're seeing look like some police lights. I can't tell.
That's me.
Oh, that's a really cool shot. Can we show?
Okay. The police coming?
All right, that's you in this vehicle with your arms out through the sunroof. Do you support the protest? Thank you. All right, so now they're allowing traffic they opened back up the lane by the center divider on the northbound 110. Meanwhile, on the southbound 110, now there's better lighting. So you guys can now see that there are about 4 people. One's now hopping back on the center divider, but there There were 4 people standing on the southbound highway. And this one man with the flag has been directing traffic the whole time. And he has a road sign taken from the streets. I think it was back on 5th Street, set up on the southbound side of the highway, blocking it looks like blocking 1.5 lanes, effectively 2, as he directs traffic. And now we've got a man in a truck driving on the southbound 110 while filming the protest. Not driving very quickly, but he is. Oh, someone's saying, listening to the scanner, get the fuck out, dude. I'll try to pay more attention to the comments. Give me any updates. They're much appreciated. Police arresting people on 7th and Flower. All right, you know what? You guys let me know. Should I head over to 7th and Flower? I'll keep an eye on the comments. But here's another aerial shot of the blockade. There's a blockade of 2 of the 3 lanes, really 2.5, although they're driving on the shoulder. And traffic is backed up, northbound 110 and southbound 110. Traffic is blocked in basically 2 lanes. Someone's saying protesters trying to get into the White House. I guess I'm getting an update from what's going on in DC. Someone else is saying, fuck it, you only live once. Someone's saying they're arresting people on highways. Where? Is that in LA or is that elsewhere? Why are they jogging on the freeway? People right here are walking. Oh, it looks like the protesters are clearing off the 110 now. I mean, pretty much all of them are clearing off the 110. So it looks like this blockade of the 110 is coming to an end. Although the barricade is still standing, blocking the middle and right lanes, 2 of the 3 lanes on the northbound 110. Oh, it might be because there are police or CHP vehicles apparently approaching. Someone's saying they must be listening to scanners. Either that or there's a pileup of red and blue lights somewhere very close to here. Indeed, we found a pileup of police or CHP vehicles. I don't know which one. And I'll show it to you momentarily. Right here. So now we've got a bit of a standoff. Sorry guys, I can barely move one of my hands. We've got protesters on this bridge above the 110, and then I can't tell, could be CHP, could be sheriff, could be LAPD, I can't tell who it is, but law enforcement vehicles with their lights on. It's Highway Patrol. Someone's saying that it's California Highway Patrol. So we've got protesters on the bridge above the 110. Oh my, now there's police storming onto the highway.
Julia.
Police. And now people are... Oh wow, fireworks set off on the highway. Or was that a flashbang? Maybe that was a flashbang, some protesters are saying throw another one.
We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
This couple is a fire extinguisher. They're...
Are you snitching, fool? Hey, this is right here snitching and shit. Fucking saying we got fire extinguishers and throwing fireworks. Why are you recording saying that shit?
Sir, you know I'm a
Stop, I don't
reporter.
give a
That's
fuck.
what I'm doing.
You better quit
Reporting
that
what's
shit.
going on.
What happened? Let's go.
Yikes. Police. Something's being fired as people are running right and left.
What's the hole in there?
Sorry I didn't get a better shot of that. Now I'm getting some hostility from one protester while some law enforcement appear to be approaching and firing something. Someone's screaming, police start shooting shit. I don't know if anything has been shot, although it seemed like a flashbang. Oh, now someone's screaming they're